The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. All right, Mr. Taliaferro TV, I will admit to you, because I don't want to be one of those guys that talks about somebody and don't give myself blame. I'm a part of the problem here. Yes, I am a part of the problem in this next story that I'm about to tell you guys about. Future. Future is probably, out of every guy that they kind of put in the trap / mumble rap era, Future's got to be the biggest, right? Gucci's giving him a run for his money right now. Gucci's coming out flaming hot right now. But Future is definitely copying. Remember when he put out, was that 2015, when he put out like 4 tapes? Then he did the joint album with Drake. Future is probably... Yes, Future's like, he copied the Gucci Man. Yeah, he copied the Gucci Man way, and he perfected it when Gucci Man was incarcerated. Future's probably the leader of that, right? I think he's like Future, then Amigos, Gucci, and Thug. They're all in that mix, right? Of that type of music, that type of trap lifestyle, and to have mainstream success with it. And he's having that. He's having that. He had 2 albums chart on Billboard. What was it, top 10 or something like? Or go number 1. Both of them went number 1. And this year, he's the only artist to do that this year. And I will say this about Future. He works incredibly hard. His content, to me, sometimes I think we let him get away with some BS content. I think too many times he gives up BS content with a hard hook and a pretty nice chorus, but with in a pretty nice beat, rather, excuse me. But with Future, I think he's very talented, and I think Future's battling with somebody inside of him, and we heard it on that project that he put out this year. One of the albums he put out this year, he did the self-entitled Future joint, then he did the other project, and on that second project, I forgot the name of it, but Future, I think, is battling with somebody he wants to be, and he's battling with it because it's not the coolest thing for him to be right now. Again, Future's incredible talent to me. Layup's one of my favorite Future records. Dirty Sprite 2, probably my favorite Future album. But in the grand scheme of things, I feel like Future, he could progress in his music, all right? My question to Future, he's what, like 33, 34 right now. How long does he continue the type of music that he is currently making? What was the name of this project? Hendrix was the name of the project. And sorry, I had to look and find that. I like Future a lot. But let's be honest. The music that he's making, Mask Off, Percocet, Molly Percocet. Do you want your kids singing this? Like, this is real to me. Like, do you want your kids singing this? If you find with your kids singing this shit, kudos to you. But I'm not finna sit around and act like it ain't detrimental. And this is not the type of shit I want on the radio. Not when Kendrick Lamar's putting his all in the music. Not when people are putting their heart and soul in their music, and he gets away with a chorus that's Percocet, Molly Percocet. Y'all cool with that? People put too much of their life in this shit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, on strength of just the people putting their life in this shit, I think we should care a little bit more about the music that's being put out in the atmosphere. Anyways, artist goes by the name of Vic Mensa. He's tired of it, and he's addressing Future in great detail. All right, Vic Mensa, for those who don't know who Vic Mensa is, he signed to Roc Nation, Jay-Z's label and management, and he's pretty much a lyricist. He's the guy that got into it with academics a few months ago on Everyday Struggle. He's from Chicago. Very creative guy. I think he battles with a lot of demons himself, like we all do. He's dealt with drug usage in the past as well. So he did acknowledge that, because it could sound a bit hypocritical if you're somebody who talks about drugs and now all of a sudden you're the guy who's like, yo, we can't talk about drugs when you talked about drugs in your music before. He acknowledged that. So I'm going to let him roll on that. But he's growing up and he's thinking about his mistakes. In an interview, he was like, to be honest, it's like, on one hand, I almost don't even have a right to chastise anybody because I've fucking done it. I've rapped about Xanax. I regret it. I don't rap about it anymore. But I have some lines about talking about Xanaxes. I just think that we're in such a dangerous place right now because it's been normalized and the drug abuse has been reduced to like a marketing tactic. You got Future talking about, I just rap about drugs because I know what sells. That's what people want to hear while people are overdosing left and right. It's really representative of the state of the nation, but it's also horribly irresponsible because you got kids that idolize that people and will do anything they do. They being misled, but their fucking heroes are getting addicted to Xans and Percocets, and they're out here dying from them. So it's pretty fucked up. What he said was absolutely true. Let me just make that clear now. And Vic, and I'm gonna give him a pass for this because he acknowledged his wrongdoing, and he's cool. And I thought Future was on some drugs. Like, I've heard stories about Future really being addicted to some stuff. So again, I hope it's not true, but I've heard stories about Future being addicted to some stuff for real. Like, he ain't going days without some certain things. I will leave it at that. You take that with a grain of salt. Usually TALIAFERRO comes correct with his sources. What Vic Mensa is talking about is absolutely right. And Vic Mensa is growing up. It is just simple as that. He might be the guy, one of the guys for us. If he can get it right musically and start producing some hits, because he's on the 444 tour right now. He's the opening act, only him. And this is like Jay-Z stamping him as the guy. If Vic can grow up and give us a couple hits, his trajectory is high. I want him to have hits because I want him to have some mainstream appeal because I see where he's going. He's fighting them inner demons, and we all got to do it. And his is just happening out in the public, and he wants to talk about it. He's like, yo, we got rappers out here like Future who he said he don't do the drugs, right? Again, whatever happens behind closed doors, Future said he don't do the drugs. But all his records have drug use in it. Percocet, Molly Percocet. And you know, you got artists who will be out here and they'll be like, man, I'm just talking about what's going on in the street. Bullshit. A lot of the things that happen in the street would not be happening if rap didn't make it cool. Period. And it's not a Future problem. It's been happening for decades. But now we're at the point now where we've turned from the dope seller to the dope user. And I'm telling you, behind closed doors, a lot of people talk about what Future's doing and him being one of the catalysts of this drug culture to make it mainstream. And a lot of people scared to talk about it in the public. This is the truth. The music that brother's putting out there, for the most part, is detrimental. Now, I'm grown. I don't use drugs. I could listen to this music. I don't smoke weed. I don't do any of that. I could listen to some of this music, go on with my life. It got a nice beat to it. I could turn up the mask off in the club. But I'm me. I'm only one person. And if this 19-year-old who is around it every day, I'm not around it every day. Not in the hood. If this 19-year-old can't decipher whether I want to use drugs or not, and his favorite rapper who's rich and famous and got all these nice things is telling him the drugs help him get through the day, the drugs help him get through the music and the records, he's going to do it. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And for Future to come out and say he ain't even doing the drugs, but you know that's what sells, yo, that's just really taking advantage of your people. I just did a video on Post Malone taking advantage of the hip-hop culture. Future's no better, bruh. That ain't no better than me, bruh. Y'all got to stop normalizing that shit, bruh. Got kids out here saying that Molly Percocet bullshit. He capitalizing on it. He said he don't even do the drugs. Now, again, I heard different. You rapping about drugs, you lying about using? Yeah, come on, man. Where's that right at, man? Man got plenty records. What the Zanny? Welcome to the Zanny family. But we praise that. What y'all think about Vic Mensa's comments? I'm done with it. Talk to me in the comment box below, yo. That can't be a thing, man. That ain't right. Y'all know it ain't right. Y'all gonna blow it off and y'all gonna criticize this video. I get it. But that shit ain't right, bro. Talk to me in the comment box below, and I'm tired of just keeping my mouth shut on stuff that ain't right, bro. Subscribe to my channel. When kids are dying, I'm constantly cutting myself off. Kids are dying because of this stuff, bro. These kids are strung out, bro. And it's not just that they're overdosing. A lot of these people be on drugs, and that's when they make the terrible decision to go shoot their friend in the back or rob this store. You know what I mean? Subscribe to my channel for more exclusive content like this. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now you're turning up on itsmrtaliaferro.com, shawty.